Hello, hello, hello! It's the final faction review. Yes, we're finally here. The final stretch. Avalon on home turf. We're going to go through, obviously, all of the commons, uncommons, rares, epics, and legendaries that's currently on the hero index before they get updated, and we can check out all of the new hero index when it gets uploaded. But as you guys know, we kind of go through the kits, see what kind of pops out, what I enjoy, what I think you guys should keep an eye out for campaign farming, dungeons, and even just overall good heroes. So, you know what to do, guys. Smash that comment and subscribe. We're here. It's the finale, and you know, just because it's the finale, we can't mention them. Our boys, Camp Half-Blood, come and join us. It is our Pantheon. It will be in the description down below with all the links that we're going to be using today, including, as you guys know, the Raven Pirates website, which has all of the information on heroes. Obviously, there's PvE content, there's tier lists, there's everything on here, including all the buffs, debuffs, and disables in the game. So we're going to be using this to help any of the new players coming into the game for the very first time, if you're just checking it out like me. So with that, let's dive into it. Obviously, starting at the commons, we've got the Dryads and the Brazilian Archer. And I'm going to be honest, obviously, these two are going to be food tokens. The only reason you might ever need to use the Brazilian Archer, apart from as a spirit to level up your main actual heroes that you're going to be working on, is because early game you may need a star in a campaign that requires Sharpen. You can place Sharpen on this hero instantly with the basic ability, and that is it. That's all you need to do. You completed your challenge. That's a free star done on this common, so bring her in just for that. Dryad Invoker, also kind of similar, attacks one enemy, places a shield with the lowest on the HP. Ultimate, small heal on all allies. Again, we don't honestly need to rely on Dryad, only because we are getting, which we will talk about very shortly, Isolde, which is a confirmed rare hero you will be earning super early on, just to help you as a healer as your beginning team. Moving into the uncommons, we got Druid, the Forest Sage. Defender, early one for us, and he has an attack down one with a 25% chance to place it for 2 turns, which isn't too bad actually, for an uncommon hero if you need this again for campaign. But then also places Protect on this hero for 2 turns. So if you read up on Protect here, it says you transfer 20% of the damage this unit would receive to the hero else. So for some reason, I don't know why this works the way it does, but I believe it just reduces the damage down a little bit. Fair play. But then the ultimate is placing Radiance 1 on all allies. And I'm going to be real, this is the only reason I personally would be bringing him. The fact that you might need Radiance again on a campaign to get that 3 stars. Radiance is a really hard buff to get a hold of, and a very powerful one. It reduces damage taken by 10%, but it also reflects 10% of the damage you have taken back at the enemies. So really good early game buff, and you might need it for campaign. That's the only reason you're gonna need Druid at the moment, apart from being a farmer. The Fee Enchantress. This is another, obviously, good old fairy in the tales we've got here in good old England. And the Disruptor class, and I expect a little bit more from her, but I'm going to be real, nothing too crazy. Early initiative down 1 on the core, because it's a 50% chance. Same on the ultimate, early attack all enemies with a 40% chance for a speed down 1. So if you're looking for any keywords, this hero can get 2 of them for you, but the basic is anything but what you care about. Attacks 1 enemy, you increase this hero's turn meter by 15%, attacking in a person under debuff. We honestly don't care about that. So you can see 2 more keywords early game you may need. I don't think you will. I think you can find these elsewhere through rare heroes, but if you are struggling, they're here on the Fey Enchantress uncommon. Knight, Realm Defender. This guy, though, is going to be the same thing. Early game, place defense up 1 and resistance up 1 on his hero for 2 turns. And the thing is, you might need to do that on a campaign, and this is a really easy way of getting access to it. Also attacks 1 enemy, then heals this hero for 25% of the damage dealt, and you increase this hero, this heal by basically double. It's a 100% increase if the enemy you fight is with the Chaos faction. So if you're bringing our good old friend the Knight into the Tower of Chaos potentially and clean all the Chaos boys, you might have a good old time with that. Ultimate attacks 1 enemy and for a nice amount of HP on there. If the target is under any buffs, you increase the damage by 25%. So again, just a nice little nuke. Nothing crazy, unfortunately, with these uncommons, right? So if we compare them, you got to think to some of the other uncommons in the game, like Vila was a really good one here, Terracotta Warrior as well on there. These guys were okay, but nothing too crazy. I think it was Black Jaguar giving you access as well early on, extra turn shenanigans, defense down 1 on there. You can see there, they're not the greatest. You might need them for campaign, but that's it. I think these are actually 5 food heroes compared to anything else. Moving on though, the main course, guys, the rares, the epics, and the legendary heroes. And the thing is, we're going to start off with rares, obviously, working our way up, and we've got Kate Sif here. And this is a hero that we did get access to in the alpha experience. At the start of the round, you place Vanish on this hero for 2 turns. While under Vanish, this hero gets 20% increased accuracy. The Awakening 5 on this hero places Vanish on this hero for 1 turn at the start of this hero's turn instead, which is much better because it means every turn it's her turn. She puts herself into Vanish. Because before, if you don't Awaken 5 this hero, it's only 1 opportunity of doing this, meaning you need to bring other heroes into the game in your team to place Vanish onto her. When you read the skills, you have an attack 1 3 times, 25% chance to place an accuracy down 1. It's okay. The core attacks 1 enemy for a 50% chance to decrease their turn meter by 20%. It's okay. I've seen AoE with the same amount of attacks. I'm not too impressed. Ultimate attacks 1 enemy 2 times. Each hit 40% chance to place speed down 1 and initiative down 1 for 2 turns. And that isn't too bad just for the debuff. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, this hero just is a bit lackluster. I honestly don't feel that impressed by this hero's kit at all. And even the imprint at the start of this hero's turn, getting 10% increased accuracy, it's just nothing screams huge for me on this hero. So that's just me. Unfortunate. I do not like the Kate Sif. I'd use her as food for myself. Ceridwen, the Invoker. This is a cool one. Attack 1 enemy and then increase 1 random ally's turn meter by 10%. I like this. Why do I like this? You gotta think, early game, random odds are actually pretty good in your favor. It's not a random 50%, it's a guarantee. Is it gonna land on your Apollo? Maybe. Is it gonna land onto that, rare that you didn't want it? Sometimes. But imagine if it does land on your Godforge quest legendary hero that you've pulled. This is actually going to help you more often than you think, and it is just going to add up over time. So not a bad basic. Core heals 10% of your max HP on 1 ally, but then you place an initiative 1, speed up 1 for 3 turns on them. Is pretty good. It's a mini Aphrodite, basically, right? Aphrodite does very similar stuff, but instead has initiative up 2 and speed up 2 instead for 3 turns. This is, though, pretty good. Why is it pretty good? Sometimes you don't need a massive AoE healer. You might have some good self-sustain already through your hero kit, through your hero imprint, or even your hero gear that you've got equipped at the moment. So having a good amount of sustain already, and you just bring in that 1 hero that can do a big burst heal for someone when you need it, might be just enough to get through. So not bad. Not insane, but not bad. Ultimate, increase the divinity of all allies by 10%, so we get to our ultimate sooner. Place sharpen 1 though on order allies for 1 turn, while placing retaliate on chaos allies for 1 turn. Now, I like that ability. Why do I like it? Because I can build, and it sounds crazy now, but I could build a Ceridwen Chaos team. Imagine if we just go into the Godforge heroes here, right? On the Raven Pyrus website, when it wants to load it. And we went to Chaos. Now, look at all the heroes in the game. And there's a lot of Chaos heroes in the game, right? It's a 50-50 split, basically, of these heroes. So the fact that I can make certain Chaos heroes gain retaliate is very powerful, because they're going to attack back now with their basic abilities. So let's just say in extreme scenarios, an Exocolotl, right? Or Zippy Topek. Like, bro, this guy's going to attack mirror buffs and potentially put it onto your team, right? That's nuts. Imagine if we got a Sphinx on there. Bro, the Sphinx retaliate. It's just going to keep AoEing down the enemy team. That is just disgusting. Especially when your team is vanished. Like, what are we saying here? Isis being able to keep stealing more and more buffs. Absolutely bonkers. So I like the fact that you can do that with the retaliate, while if you go on the order, you get sharpen, which is going to increase the amount of strong hit chance and damage that you deal. So you can either go for a damage based team, or you can go for this retaliate based chaos team, and I think I'm going to be definitely doing this in the future. And maybe I can start making some hypothetical teams, chaos teams that you could be running with this hero and obviously other chaos guys in future videos. Let me know if you want to see that. Passive, damage inflicted on order allies is decreased by 10%, but damage inflicted by chaos allies is increased by 10%. So I like that. Again, damage decrease, so we don't take as much damage on order, but we deal more damage with chaos. So it really does work with the retaliate team as well. I like this hero. I actually do like this hero. I think the ultimate and core saved her. Actually did save her. Good rare. And the wisdom hero too. Guardian of the Secrets, Ceridwen. Keep an eye on her. You might miss out on something here that could be kind of abusable early game. Rare, Dagonet Eternal. As we know, before we go into him, Dagonet used to have one of the best imprints in the game, but they changed it, they got rid of it, and yeah, it is what it is. So now this hero, though, is still a very good rare disruptor, and he is a really good disruptor. He's one of the early instances, as you can see, that provides lock core or lock ultimate on your basic ability. That means if anyone tries to attack you now, or tries to do anything, they can't use those skills. When it's locked, it's unable to be used. So just think, they can only use their basic ability, and if it's a bad basic ability, tough luck on them. But what makes him really good early game is this core. The fact that he provides an AoE 75% chance on a defense down 1 for 2 turns is actually huge. He allows your team, especially if you start a hero and your Godforge quest hero, to get through the waves, burst through the waves with this extra little damage amplification because you've reduced the enemy's defense stat. Moving on to the ultimate, attacks one enemy 240%, then attack each other enemy under the defense down, synergizing with the core here. Each hit has a 50% chance to steal 1 random buff from the target, and with the Awakening 5, it doesn't show. Unfortunate, they're reworking it still, so that's going to be interesting. But really good, actually really good. You got to think, if you can do, imagine you roll the dice. Oh, you high roll and steal everyone's buffs. Really good. Passive. When an enemy buff activates or is removed because you've stolen it, you decrease 10% of their turn meter. And when an enemy debuff expires or is removed, you decrease their divinity by 10%. Honestly, really good disruption kit. I like the disruption. I like control. I think control is really important in this game. I think people are overlooking control because they think they can just deal damage and get through with it. You'll start to realize, as someone who completed and came 6th in the speed race, you will know and find out the hard way. You can't do that. You need a bit of control in your teams. Damage is not the only way and only answer on there. So, Dargonet, really good little rare hero. Internal too, so he's going to be a bit harder to pull than some of the others. But, hey, you might get him and you might be able to use him and definitely get pushed through some waves, let's say that. Isolde, though. Obviously, the Cornish queen, Adam's queen, his waifu that is soon to marry. If you guys didn't know this, soon to marry. I'm hopefully going to be the best man. Still waiting for the invitation. But on that terms, let's go over why she's a really good hero. She plays as Mend, and she's a really good Mend enabler. All Mend does is heal your team for their HP over turns. So if we go back down, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, A, I, J, K, M, over there. Sorry, we went past it. I'm an idiot. But Mend reduces bleed stacks by 2, which is good. But you also heal 10% of the HP. So over, you got to think 10 turns, it's 100% heal. And the thing is, these Mend triggers add up. And you'll realize just having Mend on your team constantly softens the blow. And it's a really good little way to keep your team alive. When you get Awakening 5, though, the core ability is a really good early game boost to your team. You get to place defense up 1 on all allies for 1 turn, but with Awakening 5 on the core, you attack up 1 on all allies 2 for 1 turn. So it's just one of those things that you're getting a defense up 1 and an attack up 1 all in 1 core, which is the 2 main stats that you care about for 1 turn. And it's a turn meter increase by 10%. So she does a good job, honestly, early game with these 2 skills at being an early game support. Also removes 1 random debuff from all allies and increase the turn meter of all allies by 15%, and then increase a further 5% if a debuff is removed from ally. And then she has a Tristan synergy here with the basic 2. If Tristan is on the enemy team, you have a 75% chance to charm him, but if you have Tristan on your team with the basic ability, he gets a Mend as well. So basically, she's alright, she's good. You do want to run Tristan with him, just because with the passive, anytime a defender is attacked, you heal 10% max HP on all allies. And this, with this, is where she is a healing machine. People really underrate, like I said, Mend healing over turns. And then if you've got an Athena, let's say you've pulled Heimdall, you've pulled, I don't know, Horus that we've seen, we've pulled any defender, Brynhild, right? Anytime they get attacked, your entire team gets healed 10% of your maximum HP of Isolde. So if you build again massive 100,000 HP Isolde, that's a 10k heal to your team anytime a defender's attacked. It's a lot of healing on top of the Mend that you're also providing with the defense up and the attack up. So she is good. She provides 14% speed buff on leader bonus on all battles. Really valid too. It means, again, as you guys know from my videos, speed boost means greedier gear. I don't need as much speed in my gear. I can get more attack, I can get more crit, I can get more defense, I can get more HP to do what I need to do while I'm still taking my turn first with the extra speed percent. So Solde, really freaking good. Honestly, she was an all-star in the thing. Even her imprint, absolute all-star. Mabon, rare, rescued huntsman, invoker, and this is again someone pretty darn good. Attacks 1 enemy, places block debuff again on the lowest HP ally, really good for 1 turn. core resistance up 1 on all allies for 2 turns with a 200% attack on 1 enemy. Then the ultimate places vanish on an ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns with the attack 1 then as well. He's okay. He basically just keeps you guys up and around. He's like the opposite version of what Isolde is doing. He's not healing, he's not shielding, but he's protecting you from obviously debuffing. He doesn't want you to get debuffed. It's fine. I'm not going to use him, I'll be honest. I'd rather use this guy as food for now, but it is what it is. When an ally does receive a disable though with the passive, 30% chance to increase their turn meter by 10%, and with the Awakening 5, also 30% chance to reduce the duration of that disable by 1 turn. So it's okay, it's nice, it just helps you not get basically crowd controlled in the team. Tristan though was actually not too shabby. He was okay to play with that Isolde early game because he's a defender, and as you'll see, he attacks 1 enemy with a 25% chance to transfer 1 debuff from an ally to this hero. So if you only have 1 debuff, it's quite easy to target. But obviously when you got multiple debuffs, it doesn't feel great if you hit the wrong one. But at the same time, it still is synergy, right? It's removing maybe an attack down or an accuracy down or a resistance down on someone who's more important than the Tristan, and he'll take the hit, which is good. The core places a 200% defense shield, and also with Awakening 5 places protection 2, and if Isolde is on the team, she gets a protect 2-1 for 2 turns, while allies get protection 1. So my apologies saying that. With the shield though, it's good early game, but you'll realize again, you can find better. The whole purpose of Isolde and Tristan is to be these really good, stable defender and invoker you can place in your team, and you can rely on them. But they're not the best. They're not insane. They're not game breaking, right? They're not S++. They're S. Let's just say that. I don't want to disappoint any, I don't want to trigger anyone. I don't want to upset anyone. I'm sorry. I'm speaking bad about the Queen, you know? But and that's the whole point of them. They're there to just try to get you through that early phase. And he does a good job of it. He also has an AoE attack on his ultimate, and then places a radiance on all allies for 2 turns. If the Isolde is on the team, she gets a radiance too. So you can see where all allies are getting these protection 1s, radiance 1s. If Isolde is on the team, she gets protection 2, radiance 2. And that is as simple as it is. He's able to then, you know, remove debuffs or transfer debuffs from your team onto him, take the hits, shield your team, move on. Nothing complicated. He's a very solid rare. I use them a lot, and you can check out a lot of my gameplay on my live streams if you want from alpha, and you'll see him being used, and you're like, oh yeah, he's actually pretty darn good. Now, epics. Banshee. Unfortunately, one of the heroes we don't know, and I know this because someone in the Discord did hit me up with a DM, and don't worry, I got the DM, bro. Yes, I will be covering, obviously, Banshee when she comes on. We'll look forward to it, because she looks sick as hell, dude. But next, we've got Bran, who is a defender. Attacks 1 enemy, 180% defense, then places defense up 2 on his hero for 1 turn. Like it, it's a little bit of scaling. Core, attacks 1 enemy, 220% defense, places protection 2 on all allies except this hero for 2 turns. With the Awakening 3, also places Phoenix on any ally below 20%. And I like that. I like that, dude. I like the fact I can protect my team. I take the damage, and anyone who's really low, I can protect them. I can place Phoenix on them, and as you guys should know, Phoenix is going to revive them to 50% HP, 50% turn meter, and obviously the buff is removed from them. That is really good, because you got to think, if I place this core down and I either do a joint attack, a retaliate, or it rolls around to Bran's turn any basics, he's going to have this defense up 2 for his next full rotation, and that's meaning he's going to be able to take some of the protection 2 damage, which is pretty good. He also has his ultimate, placing a 200% defense shield on all allies above 50%, and allies heal for 100% of his defense if they're below. So he can shield and heal, which is really cool. And he can revive a dead ally for 40%. That's insane. And he places intercept on any ally. Oh, I like this guy a lot. Holy fucking smokes, man. He's literally what a defender is embodied to be. He is the shield of the team. He's going to shield you guys up. If you're about to die, he's going to bring you back up and heal you. If you're dead, he's going to revive you. And on top of this, if you're below 20%, he's going to intercept any hits. Meaning, if you try to target the low Apollo, guess what? It's going to forcibly make you attack him instead. I like Bran. And you transfer 20% of the damage inflicted on all allies to this hero. Awakening 5 heals this hero for 100% of the damage transferred. So you literally transfer damage from your allies to you and negate it, because you're literally healing it back instantly on awakening. Bro, that's so good. Oh, I like Bran, boys and girls. Epic hero, defender wisdom. Keep an eye out. Oh, boys. And he has a defender leader bonus of 20% in dungeon battles. Not too exciting, but it's still better than nothing. Now we got my boy, Gawain, the Gawain, Mr. Wayne on show. He is also a defender wisdom. A little bit different to our last hero. Attacks one enemy 2 times, increases this hero's defense and resistance. 3 stacks. This can go up by, and it's 5% each. So that's a 15% defense and resistance at max stacks. His core places defense up 2 on his hero for 2 turns, and then places protection 2 on all allies for 2 turns except this hero. And then the core weakening says you reduce the damage inflicted to allies under protection by 10%. And if they're Avalons, it's doubled. So basically, if you put the protection 2, you're taking some of that damage. It's reduced a little bit. But with Avalons, it's doubled that reduction. It's pretty much the same play style as we've just seen before. The ultimate attacks all enemies and has a 50% chance to place attack down 2 for 2 turns, which is good. But you also place a shield for 200% on all allies. So again, very similar playstyle to Bran. I just don't think it's as powerful as Bran's healing and revive that he's got in his kit. The passive says when an ally receives a disable, 40% chance this hero receives it instead. And Awakening 5 says at the start of this hero's turn, though, you remove all disables. So he is doing what Bran's doing, but from a different angle, right? He's not going to heal you like he did. He's not going to keep you up and alive, but he is going to try his best to take some of the damage. And more importantly, it's this. The fact that he's able to potentially take that disable that you was going to take on a very key target. Let's say your Anubis was about to get put to sleep or frozen. Well, Gawain takes it. And when it's Gawain's turn, he instantly cleanses all of those disables so they didn't matter. And then he can do his turn. Actually pretty good. Pretty good for that little bit of utility that you might need in the kit. Now we got Gog Magog in here, defender again on here, a different playstyle altogether compared to the other two. Attacks one enemy 2 times, 50% chance to place attack down 2 on the target for 1 turn. Pretty good to just again hit that one person that you might need to for that 1 round. It's nothing crazy, but it's still good. Core attacks 1 enemy, 320% defense. 75% chance though to place blunt 2 on the target for 2 turns. So blunt 2 is going to reduce, as you guys know, your chance to strong hit and also reduce their strong hit damage. Quite big. Go to the ultimate, places intercepts on all allies except this hero but also places Phoenix on this hero for 2 turns. And it looks like this could, it might change, but it could mean that he's also placing Stalwart on all allies. We don't know. No confirmation since this is being under review at the moment. Passive says when damage is inflicted on this hero, you increase defense and resistance by 6%. Stacks up, but you also heal this hero for 100% of your defense when you awaken free. So I like that now, but it's a little bit of work, right? If you compare Gog Magog to even Bran works already, and he heals, he shields, and he does all of that jazz. In order to sustain through the intercept, and obviously Phoenix not go off, which is kind of harsh, you need to awaken free the hero, meaning you need to get 3 copies of him before you really feel the tanking capabilities. So it feels like being that blunt 2 and attack down 2 early game is the main focus, and it might be enough to get through. The only issue I have with this hero is I don't like it because it's only 1 enemy on all of those 2 abilities. If it was an AoE of some sort and he did less damage, I'd be probably more inclined to like him, I'll be honest. So Gog Magog, gonna be interesting to see how well he performs. But now, moving on to an Alpha All-Star as Mr. Zombie, my fucking Pantheon leader will say he's the greatest hero to ever exist in the entire Godforge internet history. He's pretty good. What this guy does is he brings brawling to the next level, but what's really good about him, he actually brings sustain to the team. So he attacks one enemy 3 times, but before attacking has a 75% chance to place Drain 1 on the target for 3 turns. That alone, without the Awakening 3, which increases his hero's maximum HP by 10% if you kill someone, which is really good, because that means he does more damage and he scales with his ultimate more. But what it means is you got to think you can basic someone and anyone on your team now is healing if you focus that down that target, and that's really good sustain. You'll be surprised at in this game the way sustain works is not the same as Raid Shadow Legends. You're looking for heroes with Mend, Drain, and you're combining these mechanics together to really grind out and actually survive the major turns you need to survive, right? So really good Drain mechanic on basic. Then you got the core, steals all buffs from the enemy. That is happens, right? By the way, you can't stop that. It just happens. 75% then chance to taunt the target for 3 turns, which can't be blocked. But then you retaliate on this hero for 3 turns. So you can steal literally all the buffs from a target, make them taunt you, and then gain retaliate, meaning every single time they attack you, you hit them 3 times and put potentially Drain on them. Really good sustain. Really good little mini combo that he has with just himself, and you start to realize how good that is. The Awakening 5 says, when the taunt expires though, attack target using Curse of Swain will not the Curse of Swain Gawain on cooldown. So like, yeah, it's just, it's nuts. It's nuts. Just being able to just do this and do this again, it's just crazy. Great Cleave though, attack one enemy, 15% of your HP. So just think if you did kill 1 or 2 guys, and you got a 20% increase on your maximum HP, bro, that's hitting so hard. It's not even funny. But you inflict 50% of the damage dealt to enemies under taunt, and then this attack always normal hits and ignores target defense. So he does do a big hit, and it's a really big hit when you feel it. Passive, by the way, reflects 30% of the damage inflicted as hero back to the enemy. You just get a natural reflex. So just think, you're reflecting damage. You're able to hit them multiple times with your basic, which is always triggering because of the retaliate, and you're draining with that. What else do you need? He's a really good little boy. He is a good boy. He's a good Eternal. He's a jolly green giant. Shall we move on? Before Zombie gets a little bit too excited. So now we got Mordred, and let's be honest, I'm going to get excited. Mordred All-Star. Absolute All-Star. This is a disruptor in alpha. You could have used him in there, and oh my lord, this hero, if you didn't have a Skade, was just as good, if not better. This hero attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance to place Corrupt onto the target. So you steal any buff that target might have been placed onto them. And if that isn't good enough, you can attack all enemies with a 50% chance to confuse all of them for one turn. Bro, that is an entire turn skip, and sometimes you just need to skip one turn to absolutely burst the wave and move on to the next wave, right? Ultimate attacks all enemies for 170% attack, but if the target's under a confuse, you increase the damage by 30%. And if the target's under a corrupt, you decrease their turn meter by 15%. And with the awakening 3 of the ultimate, if the target's under confuse and corrupt, you instantly remove any shields or barriers before your attack. So you literally strip shields and barriers, you confuse targets, and you can do some good old damage with that, and you're stealing buffs. He is a really good disruptor, really good kit he has. The passive on him is really funny because it really leans into the confuse playstyle. Enemies have a 30% chance to reflect damage when attacked by allies. So if you ran like we did in Alpha, like Mordred and Odin together, and then ran 20 other heroes, watching this go off was hilarious. They just died to themselves, and it's just funny to watch every single time. Honestly, Mordred is an all-star. And the cool thing about Mordred, what I noticed, is you can actually build him in 2 ways. If you want to build him to actually hit the confuse, you can do that. But what you can also do is actually build him damage. Super damage. And what's crazy is you can build up the ultimate, get the confuse going with the core, and then when it's your, like, you know, because in Godforge, you can trigger your ultimate on any person's turn. You can literally just go ultimate straight after and just blow up someone, and it's just disgusting the amount of damage that you can do. And even in the alpha experience, certain waves had this, and you had to go against it, and it was cancerous, bro. It was so much damage. So definitely keep an eye on Mordred, all-star epic in the Avalon faction. Percival, the last epic, and I'm gonna be honest, exactly the same as our boy Mordred. Why do I mean that? He is a brawler, but we didn't really use him as a brawler. I actually used him more of a disruptor, and you'll understand why. Basic, attacks one enemy, 25% chance to remove a random buff. That's more the disruptor ability than a brawler ability, if you ask me. You will ignore, though, 20% of the target's defense if you attack chaos enemies, making him perfect in tower gameplay and in random campaign content. Then, though, and the real power of him is the core. Place resistance up 2 and resistance to radiance 2 on this hero for 2 turns. You have a 50% chance to stun for 1 turn on all enemies. So just like before, instead of confuse, we have a 50% chance to stun the targets. And the crazy thing is, with an Awakening 3, if the enemy is aligned with Chaos, you increase the chance to stun by 25%, and you ignore the actual resistance by 25% too. So this reads 75% chance to stun Chaos units and ignore 25% of their resistance, and have a 50% chance to stun all other enemies. insane. It is really good, again, to turn skip on the enemies. The ultimate removes all debuffs and disables from yourself, enabling you to get into your core if you're about to go into Percival's turn, which is really good. And if no debuffs are removed, which is really powerful, you can place Retaliate and Ward on this hero for 2 turns, which is again allowing you to have that 25% chance to remove buffs randomly from the targets. So I'm going to be honest, yes, he is scaling with HP. He is scaling with HP, but he's also scaling with resistance and attack. And the thing is, I feel like he's more of a disruptor than a brawler, even though he's got that tag on him, unfortunately. So keep an eye on Percy. Really good disrupting hero. The fact that he has stun radiance here is just huge. It's huge. You will not honestly hate him if you need that bit of crowd control in your team. Now, we're here. We're at the finale. You guys love it. It's the legendary times. We're here at the big boys. Let's see what the finale of the faction review legendaries have got for us. And to start off is the Fisher King. This is an Eternal Defender many people are looking very excited for because he's the protector of the Holy Grail, and he's not too shabby. Basic attack, attacks one enemy, place vanish on an ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. It's okay. As you guys know, this is very similar to Anu's basic ability. I don't like placing vanish on the HP of the guy with the lowest HP. I think if your ally has low HP and you're vanishing him, he's probably dead next turn to the AoE that your enemy is about to do. And that is the honest truth. The core, though, places Immortal and Shield on all allies for 2 turns, and it's a 300% defense shield, which is nuts. The crazy bit is the Awakening 1 on this hero, Immortal and Shield cannot be removed when placed by this ability. So it's there and it's staying, which is kind of nuts. The ultimate equalize the HP of all allies to the ally with the most HP. So what this does is just this one line of text. If everyone's low, but let's just say Fisher King's super high HP, you bring everyone up to 90% HP and you equalize it. If allies are above 50% HP, then permanently increase the damage they inflict to enemies by 10%. That stacks 3 times. That's 30% increase in damage. But if the allies are below 50% HP, you permanently decrease the damage they receive. And this persists across each wave. So you either increase damage dealt by 30%, or you decrease damage taken by 30%, and you equalize everyone's HP, which heals them, which is really, really good. On Awakening 5, you also heal all allies. The ally with the highest HP by 200% defense. This makes sense because then what you're doing is you're finding the target with the most HP, hopefully topping up to 100%. Then you're equalizing everyone so they're all 100% HP. Everyone's getting the damage increase for your team. You can see the increase of the stacks increased 2 by 2 as well. So now this is a 50% damage reduction and a 50% increase in damage. Nutty, boys. Absolutely nutty. When Immortal prevents an ally death, you increase their HP, attack, and defense. This stacks up to 6 times. And on Awakening 3, you prevent the duration of Immortal from being reduced when preventing death. That is broken on its own. I'm going to be honest, I need a Fisher King. I need one. I'm sorry, I need a Fisher King. This guy looks so goddamn good. It is obscene. Cannot wait. And he gives you resistance. Holy shit. It gives you 50% resistance in all battles too. That's pretty darn good. Stopping debuffs. I'm happy. I'm telling you, I'm happy about that. Morgan Le Fay. We know about this hero. She is in the alpha. You should know from my opinion on her how good she is, and I do like her, but I don't know how insane it's gonna be. She's a hero that is all about the damage over time teams. Her basic has a 35% chance to put vulnerable 2 for 2 turns. This means they're gonna obviously take more damage. I think it's 20% more from blaze or acid or aether burn or bleed, for example. But then you activate a random debuff on that target. So if they do have acid on them, you get to trigger it and make them take damage. The core is attacks all enemies 3 times. Each hit has a 50% chance to either randomly put blaze, acid, aether burn, or 1 stack of bleed on them. The other 3 have 2 turn durations, and that is on the acid, blaze, and aether burn. The ultimate, before attacking, you remove all the aether burn, bleed, acid, and blaze stacks, which sounds, I know, really counterintuitive. I know, but listen. You attack all enemies, but for every 5 debuffs removed, you increase the damage dealt by 25%. And if 20 or more debuffs are removed, you increase this turn meter by 100%, meaning if you press the ultimate of your Morgan Le Fay, she gets to go again. So you can press core ability into ultimate into core, basically. That's the aim of them trying to do this. The passive also says this hero gains effects when debuffs activates. So if an aether burn triggers, you increase her divinity by 50. If a blaze goes, the next core ability damage is increased by 5%, so this does a little bit more. When an acid triggers, you get a turn meter increase, and when bleed triggers, you get a heal. It is a lot of stuff, I know, but she is that one hero, I'm gonna be real, if you have her, you can put her with a Lady Shock, a Ramses, right? And you're already gonna have a hero that's going to make it work with them. Same with if you get like a Zippy Topek, right, from the Omniarchon faction. There's a lot of heroes where you're able to place a lot of these different types of buffs, remove them, get a benefit, and then basically reapply them in the team. And it is a cool playstyle. It sounds counterintuitive at first, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but I'm telling you, when you try it, you'll be surprised on how effective it actually is. And the only awakening we can't see Awakening 1 or 3, but Awakening 5 says on the passive, each time an enemy debuff activates, you increase this accuracy by 10, and this is 20 times. So that is a 200 increase on accuracy stat, allowing you to basically land. It doesn't matter, you're always landing these debuffs with Morgan Le Fay. So she is a really cool hero. She's not on my list, but I did place her, I believe, in the A tier or the B tier for the niche based teams. Now, Morrigan. Oh boy, Morrigan, man. This Eternal Disruptor is definitely one I kind of want in my teams. I definitely want to pull her. Attacks one enemy, 200% attack, 75% chance to place initiative down 2 on the target, and then place Dark Tidings on the target. Dark Tidings is the only debuff in the game specifically for Morrigan at the moment. Each stat decreases the damage inflicted by 5%. It stacks up to 5 times and can only be removed when this hero casts their ultimate. At max stacks, you also decrease the speed of the initiative by 10% on the target. So just think, this Dark Tidings is helping your Morrigan being more effective while slowing down and decreasing the divinity speed of the enemy at max stacks. The core here places 2 stacks of Dark Tidings on all enemies. You attack all enemies with 200% attack, which is nuts, with a 75% chance to place Despair on each target for 1 turn. Just to let you guys know, guys, it's red, it's meant to be pink. Despair is a disable. Little color error on the website, but that's probably going to get fixed. If the target is a boss though, speed down 2 on the target for 2 turns. And what's really powerful, Awakening 5 is 5 stacks of Dark Tidings. So you instantly trigger the Dark Tidings passive, which is the 10% decrease in speed and initiative stacks. That's nuts. That is nuts. And they are doing 25% decrease in damage they inflict. That is an insane ability when that's maxed out. Holy smokes. Ultimate removes all buffs from all enemies. Whoo! An entire strip? Yes, please. Then attacks all enemies 3 times. The first hit has an 80% chance to place a Drain 2, which is insane, for 2 turns. The second hit has an 80% chance to place a Defense down 2 for 2 turns. That's insane. And then the third hit has an 80% chance to place an attack down 2 for 2 turns. That is crazy. Awakening 1, if all 3 debuffs are placed on the target, you at the same time decrease that target's turn meter by 30%. That's naughty. That is a naughty ultimate there. I like that a lot. Oh, boys, I like her. I really like Morrigan's kit. Holy smokes. Passive, when an enemy receives a buff, reduce the duration by 1 turn. And when an enemy receives a debuff, you increase its duration by 1 turn. Absolute nuts, man. You literally, if they get an attack down, on them, you increase the duration. If you put a bleed on them, it increases the stack. If you put acid on them, increase the duration. If they get an attack up, you decrease it. Oh my. That's so good. So good, man. Honestly, one of my favorite Eternal heroes out of the lot. And on top of it, she gives you 30% initiative in arena battles, so she destroys in PvP. And then Awakening 3 decreases the target's resistance and accuracy by 5 each time they receive a stack of Dark Tidings. Yeah, this hero is nuts. I want Morrigan. I need Morrigan. Oh, bro, what a hero for an Eternal. Oh, boys. So the final 2, we got Vivian and we got Dragok, the Welsh Red Dragon. That is literally what it spells. The Red Dragon, if you guys wondering. Or the Dragon Red, because it's kind of done wrong, but it is what it is. Vivian, though, we know about. This is in the Godforge quest. She is one of the best invokers in the game. She is removing disables from all allies as well as debuffs from the Avalons, but she has a joint attack on that ultimate, and if the target is defeated, 20% turn meter increase on all allies. Absolute bonkers. Core ability does attack up 2, defense up 2, and with Awakening 1, sharpen up 2 for 2 turns. And you increase the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. Oh, boys, what an insane buff increase, right? If you think about it, if you increase the buff duration, you've basically bought yourself a turn, right? If you got a 3-turn clock and it's a 2-turn duration of buff, and I increase that, well, it's going to be infinite uptime. And that's what makes this really, really powerful. And I wonder how much we can break this in the game. The basic is okay. You get to reduce the divinity by 150 flat. It's nothing insane. It's between 1 to 10% for most characters in the game. But it's a nice added bonus. Yes, this stacks up to 20 times instead of 10. So it goes up to 300. But even then, there's heroes that actually do this job better, and that's what they're designed to do. She is designed to honestly put as many buffs on your team and make your team, no matter what, attack at maximum capacity against the enemy with joint attack. And it's gonna do a disgusting amount of damage. Your passive says allies inflict 20% increased damage with basic abilities, making this a prime combo, as you've guessed it, with someone like Anubis. But this is doubled when joining in attacks. So when you use your ultimate, everyone in your team does 40% increase basic damage. It's insane. On Awakening 5, allies have a 100% chance to inflict true damage, which cannot crit. Like, insane hero. She has speed boost. Do we need to talk about it anymore? I don't think so. Vivian, she is top 3. We already know she looks so good, and she was one of the top picks for many people in the Godforge quests for good reason. Edrak Gotgo, the boy, the red dragon, the Welsh dragon, literally the reason why you see the red dragon on the Welsh flag, and this is the boy. This is him. He's super famous, dude. And he's a Blaze boy. Yeah, if you want to play Blaze, he is one of the payoffs instead of Ra that you can use. He attacks one enemy and he ignores 15% target defense if they're under Blaze. And then you place an attack up 2 on himself for 2 turns. This one skill alone does damage. Like, it does an absurd amount of damage on its own. It's not even funny. The core, though, attacks all enemies 2 times at 185%. The first attack, 75% chance to place Blaze 2 on the target for 2 turns. Second attack, decrease the target's defense by 5%, stacks up to 4 times. So you get a 20% defense reduction on them, and you get to place Blaze 2. And as well, on Awakening 1, with your core, before attacking, you increase the duration of any Blaze by 1 turn, and then you activate it. So you basically get a free activation, which is just nice. A bit of extra damage before you go off. Ultimate, transfer all Blaze and AVALON from allies onto all enemies, and then attack all enemies 3 times. Places a shield of 150% attack on all allies of it, and the strength of the shield is increased by 2% for each debuff transferred. With the Awakening 5, this transfers all debuffs from all allies onto all enemies instead, and that there is why he's so good. I don't think you realize, man. Like, I went against an Awakened 5 Edrak Gok, and I thought I was fine until he literally got his entire team, he cleansed them and flung it to me, and my entire team was just dead. They all had attack down 2, defense down 2, resistance down 2. They had everything on them, bro. I was cooked. So really, really good hero. Do not underestimate him. He is a different playstyle than you're used to, remember. He is a Blaze-based team. So you need heroes that can place Blaze. The passive on him, to finish it up, inflicts 30% more damage, receives 30% less damage from enemies under Blaze or Aetherburn, and with the Awakening 3, you block any debuffs or disabled placed on his hero from anyone who has Blaze on them. So literally, place Blaze. This guy is safe to do what he likes. He has a 30% increase on an attack on all battles, so you can run him anywhere and you're good. So that is every hero done in the Avalon faction, and at the same time, guys, every hero done on the hero index for Godforge. Done. We have completed it. All done. You can watch any of my faction videos that I've already got uploaded on the channel for you guys if you want to see all of the ones that I've done so far. But just remember, any heroes that we haven't covered on their kits, that they just don't have them in, for example, like Jituan as a good one, we will see them soon. These kits come out I think this week or next week for the devs on here, and when they do, we will be covering all of the new stuff. So that is it. That's all of them. Let me know who you are most excited for, and then with that, hit the sub button so you know when the next video goes live. And until then, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys. Peace out.